Hi students, good morning to every one of you. Last class we discussed about environmental chemistry. So all the points that is I covered, which are useful for your NEET examination. Next round. Today we are going to start organic chemistry. Okay. So there are water pollution and BOD, COD, TLE, threshold limit value, and dissolved oxygen. The points are only mainly important for examination. And the main theory concepts you can prepare it, you can get it also. This theoretical concept is biology related concept that also they biology also in secondary some concepts, right? That is. But then water pollution we did, and soil pollution, land pollution. So the what is land pollution means? There is land pollution, which is also called soil pollution. Undesirable change in the soil that will change the physical and chemical properties of soil due to release of waste materials into the soil that can cause harmful effects on living organisms. It's called soil pollution or land pollution. The main soil pollutants are pesticides, agricultural wastes, and herbicides, fertilizers, heavy metals. These are the main land pollutants or soil pollutants. Right? So the main soil pollutants are pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, agricultural wastes, Next, industrial effluents. Next, heavy metals. Right. So pesticides site in killing. Farmers, agricultural farmers, use some chemical substances to kill the pests, to increase their crop yielding. Pesticides means which kills the pests. So pests killing substances or chemicals are called pesticides. At the same time, herbicides are also there. Herbs means like in addition to our main crop, some additional waste plants are also growing along with that are called weeds. To remove that weeds, the farmers are replaces they're spraying some chemicals which kills that that is called weeds or called herbicides. And fertilizers, generally to increase the crop yielding, farmers are spraying different fertilizers like nitrogenous fertilizers, phosphorus fertilizers, and sulfur fertilizers. So this is all useful for increase the crop yielding, to increase the fertility of the soil, and that nutrients are absorbed by roots of the plants. Then growth increases, and you get more yielding. Whenever these are all sprayed on the agricultural farmers to increase the crop yieldings, they may be mixed into the soil. They mix into the soil means they can cause some changes in the physical and chemical properties of soil. They can decrease some of the humus-rich portion of the soil, or they may kill the microbes which are present in the soil. And that soil related, these chemicals are absorbed by the roots of the plants. They may enter into the plants. After that, that plant products we are eating, There is different organisms. Through the food chain, they enter into the living organisms, in human beings also. So that is through the food chain, the increase of fertilizers from plants to human beings is called bioamplification, biomagnification, right? So because of biomagnification, that is increase of enrichment of the waste materials, that is agricultural, that is pesticides, into the from smaller organisms to higher organisms, from producers to smaller consumers, next higher consumers, next other higher consumers. Through the food chain, they accumulate the bodies of human beings. Then this is called bioamplification. Because of that, in our body, these pesticides are accumulated, these waste chemicals are accumulated, then they disrupt some of our systems, maybe there is cardiovascular disorders and nervous disorders will come. So there is propagation of nervous will be damaged. So nervous is not properly propagated through the neurons. Okay, so that's why nervous disorders and cardiovascular disorders will be happening because of the blood pressure. It's all affected. So then that is the adverse effects on living organisms. So similarly, agricultural waste materials. So during the complete, maybe in the 6 months or 1 month's course of a particular crop yielding, so many waste materials are there that are also released on the soil. They also causes so many adverse effects. They releases dust particles into the air also, right? And industrial, so many industries, they releases effluents. Effluents means which are other than the target materials, other than the target product, they releases, they prepare some other byproducts of these byproducts they don't want. They release the nearby soil. So then they causes that soil is used for the agricultural purposes. Then through the through the food chain, that are also that waste materials, industrial waste materials, industrial chemicals are entered into human beings. Then heavy metals like there is copper, mercury, silver, okay, and calcium and palladium. These are heavy metals and nickel. Okay. These heavy metals, these are when they release into the soil. Okay, these are if they enter into our body, if they enter into our body through the food, then what happens? They causes mainly kidney diseases and decrease the counting of RBC and mainly WBC cells. Because of that, what happened? The circulatory system is affected and the external system is affected. So kidney problems will be there and heart problems will be there because of flow of blood. Because of what happened is for accumulate, they increase the wall of the blood vessels. Because of that, the flow of blood pressure will increases. Because of the what happened, there is heart problems. This problem will happen, right? So this is about soil pollution. And then to remove all these pollutants, a new branch of chemistry is developing, that is called green chemistry. Not organic chemistry, not inorganic chemistry, not physical chemistry, a new branch of chemistry. Maybe in future it may be developed. Now it is in under developing. Now it is maybe good development process progress is there. It is called green chemistry. So it may be needed to develop this branch only. So we'll get what is green chemistry means. The branch of chemistry which explains the removal of all pollutants from the atmosphere, from the water, from the land. So for that, so many countries, scientists are assembled in different places and they are giving the process, the methods of how to remove these pollutants. There is a removal of greenhouse gases pollutants, removal of ozone depleting pollutants, removal of acid rain causing pollutants. Okay, this is all you have to remove it. And instead of using all these pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, and all industrial heavy metals, they are using, you have to use for agricultural purposes bio-related substances. That is called, we can, some plants are there, so they produce biofertilizers. Right? Biofertilizers, instead of using chemical fertilizers, you have to use biofertilizers. And instead of using some chlorates and phosphates, which are harmful to our living organisms. So, which are that they are using alternatives of that. So, like, environmental friendly chemicals, environmental friendly methods they are following. So, and by removal of all these things, then that is called great chemistry. And also we have to use, we have to prepare, there is instead of detergents, the normal plants are there, they produces, they act as like detergents, we have to use. And instead of plastics, we have to use normal jute-related bags. Okay, and instead of this, what we call, there is ozone depleting gases are there. So you can't, there is freons. You can't uses, there is a decrease of utilizing this air conditioner, fridges, this all. From that normal fridges are there. The old people, there is pot, we have to use it. It will behave as a, what has like a fridge, okay, to cool the substances, vegetables, all these things. So these are the remedies which are explaining how to decrease the environmental pollution. That's called great chemistry. So this is about environmental chemistry is completed. Next now we are going to start another topic that is very important. That is called organic chemistry. So what is organic chemistry? Is the branch of chemistry which explains organic compounds. What are organic compounds? Organic is organism. Those compounds which are prepared from organisms, that is from plants and from animals. Okay, so this plant and animal originated substances are called organic substances, which are originated from, so including your milk is an organism from milk getting. Okay, so like anyone is originated from organisms, plants and animals that are called organic substances. All organic substances mainly composed of one element, that is carbon. So those compounds which are prepared from, which are obtained from carbon, that are called organic compounds. That is a branch of chemistry which explains about carbon and its compounds of carbon. Compounds of carbon are called, there is it's called organic chemistry. So in organic chemistry, we are mainly focusing about there is the compounds which are prepared from, which are obtained from carbon. Carbon derivatives, derivatives of carbons. Derivatives of carbons means like hydrocarbons, alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, and aromatic benzene. And derivatives of hydrocarbons, there is alcohols, ethers, alkyl halides, aldehydes, ketones, carbonic acids, amines, diazomic salts, and heterocyclic aromatic compounds, and then heterocyclic non-aromatic compounds, and then biomolecules, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and these are all organic compounds. So we are all studying about the preparation methods and physical properties, chemical properties, and uses and adverse effects of all these compounds. This is called a big branch of chemistry that is called organic chemistry. All these compounds are produced by only one and only compound. There is the king of the element in the chemistry, that is called carbon. What is king means? So if you take the total periodic table, 180 elements are present. Among all the elements, if you take carbon separately and remaining 170 elements separately, the compounds formed by all 170 elements, and if you compounds formed by only carbon element, if you compare, the compounds formed by carbon are more, remember, than all the compounds formed by other elements. So that's why this carbon can produce innumerable number of compounds, many compounds, huge number of compounds are there. The two, every day the scientists are preparing a new organic compound in the lab. So new compound is prepared. Why? Why carbon have this type of ability to produce a large number of compounds? Because some carbon has some specialty, some special characters are there. The characters are responsible for formation of more large number of compounds. Okay, so maybe 100 students are there in a class, maybe 2 or 3 students or 5 students are identified with everybody. Everybody know. Why? Because they have some special characters that are different from the all other students' characters. So then we are eliminated. Like that, carbon has some special characters, because of that it forms a large number of compounds. What are the special characters of carbon to form large number of compounds? To form large number of compounds. That is, the first property is what? Catenation. And this catenation means self-linkage ability of carbon. It is called catenation. So that means here, one carbon is linked to other, that is linked to other, that is linked to other, that is linked to other, like that. You get a continuous chain. It may be straight chain, or it may be branch chain, or it may be a ring chain. This is a straight chain, or it may be branch chain, or it may be cyclical ring chain, or it may be cyclical ring chain. Whatever it may be. So all the self-linkage ability of carbon is called. There is one carbon self-links itself. There is one carbon with other carbon like that. So self-linkage ability of carbon is called catenation. Among the all elements in the periodic table, carbon have maximum, max maximum ability of catenation. So highest catenation ability element is carbon. Because of that, so already a compound is when carbon compound is existent. Now if just one more compound is added, then becomes a new compound. Its properties are different. So that's why a new compound is enter into the word, right? Like that, we get a new compound. Next one. Second property is another one is tetravalency. Tetravalency. That means, so what carbon having four valence electrons, it can form four covalent bonds with carbon atoms or with other atoms, with the hydrogen, with oxygen, with sulfur, with nitrogen, with halogen. So one carbon have ability to form four covalent bonds. This type of ability is not there in other elements. Any element cannot form four covalent bonds like carbon. Okay, so already, for example, a compound is there like this. A compound is there like this. Then, so it is again this carbon again bonded with another three carbons or maybe three hydrogens or somebody atoms like. So one carbon can bond with can form four covalent bonds with the same carbon atoms or with other atoms like hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, halogen, like that. Anyone, right? So, for example, this one here hydrogen is there, and here carbon is there, here hydrogen is there. The place of this hydrogen, if you remove and you just place it over here, then it becomes a new compound by substitution. So that means this ability of formation of four covalent bonds by one carbon atom is also responsible for production of new compounds. Right? That is tetra means four. So one carbon atom can form four covalent bonds. So formation of four covalent bonds by carbon atom is also one of the important factors to produce the large number of compounds. Next one. Another one is multiple bond formation. Multiple bond formation. That is, so one carbon can form not only single bond, it can form double bond, it can form triple bond also. That is here, between carbon carbon, single bond is there, between carbon carbon, double bond is there, between carbon carbon, triple bond is also there. Right. So here, so with the two carbon atoms, with the single bond or double bond or triple bond is formed, right? So here, carbon have ability to form single bond, double bond, or also triple bond. Like a carbon, other atoms do not exhibit this type of ability. Formation of one type of more than one type of bond is called multiple bond, right? For example, take nitrogen. So nitrogen can form triple bond only between two nitrogen atoms. Oxygen can form only double bond between two oxygen atoms. But carbon can form single bond, double bond, partial triple bond. It can form all types of bonds. So that's why this is multiple bond formation. For example, so this is triple bond is there. If you remove this one bond and you can make it here two single bonds. One by one is equal to two single bonds. It becomes a new compound. Previously there is alkyne and this becomes a alkene. A new compound is there. That makes sense. So multiple bond formation is also one of the important ability of carbon to form different large number of compounds. Next one. One is isomerism. Isomerism. What is isomerism? Iso means the same. Meric means part, same parts, right? That is equal parts. Two or more than two compounds having same molecular formula but different in properties. Why they are different properties? Two compounds or more than two compounds, maybe 3, 4, 5 organic compounds are there. But all the compounds having same molecular formula, but different properties. Why they are different properties? Even though they have same molecular formula, because they have different structural formula. They are different structural. Because of that, they have different properties. How they different means maybe different position of the substance, different the position of functional group, or different the position of the group, or different the position of triple bond, or having different types of functional groups. Okay, or different arrangement of carbon atoms. So because of that, so they exhibit isomerism. Because of all these properties are responsible for isomerism. Isomerism is also one of the important property to form new compound by carbon. So that's why these are all the properties of a carbon to form large number of compounds by carbon. There is catenation, tetravalency, multiple bond formation, and isomerism. Right. Next one. Other one is bonding in carbons. Bonding in carbons. Bonding in organic compounds. Organic compounds, the same thing we did in chemical bonding, right? In the chemical bonding, we did there is organic compounds in which the carbon atom undergoes. In the organic compound, what is the main atom? What is the main atom? The organic compound, the central atom is what? The central atom is carbon only. For example, PCMB, what is the central atom? Phosphorus. Okay, and the N2O, what is the central atom? Nitrogen. But in all organic molecules, what is the central atom? Carbon only, right? So the central atom is carbon. The carbon atom in organic compounds undergoes different types of hybridization. It undergoes the sp3 hybridization, it undergoes sp2 hybridization, it undergoes sp hybridization, sp3 carbon, or sp2 carbon, or sp carbon. Very bonding, right? With some compounds, it undergoes sp3 hybridization. For example, between the two carbon atoms, only single bond is present. In that, the carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. These are saturated. Between the two carbon atoms, double bond is present. One sigma bond, one is pi bond. If one pi bond is present, then the carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization. Between two carbon atoms, double bond is present. So one is sigma bond, then we need two pi bonds. If two pi bonds are present, then the carbon undergoes two pi bonds. Two pi bonds are present, then that carbon undergoes sp hybridization. Only one pi bond is present between the two carbons, that is sp2 hybridization. If no pi bond, all sigma bonds are there, then the carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. Right. Now, so here, so these are saturated alkanes, these are saturated alkanes, these are saturated alkenes, these are unsaturated alkanes. So saturated alkanes, unsaturated alkenes, and alkanes. Right. Now, here, with the two carbons, carbon, single bond is there means. Single bond is there means bond length is how much? This is it is 1.54 angstroms, and here it is 1.2 bonds are there means. Bond number increases means bond length decreases. Bond length decreases. It is 1.34 angstroms, and here it is 1.20 angstroms. Right? That means if you go from top sp3 to sp, bond length value decreases because as bond length is inversely proportional to number of bonds. Number of bonds is more, bond length is less. Right? There is a bond length is inversely proportional to. So bond length is inversely proportional to number of bonds or bond multiplicity. Number of bonds or bond multiplicity. Bond multiplicity means bond number increases. Number of bonds increases. Multiplicity of the bonds. Right. Next, bond angle. Bond angle is there. So sp3 bond angle is 109 degrees 28 minutes, and the sp2 bond angle 120 degrees, and the sp bond angle 180 degrees. That means as if you go from sp3 to sp, bond angle increases. Bond angle 109, 120, 180. Bond angle increases. Bond angle increases. Right. Next one. Bond energy. So bond energy is also progressively increases because here bond length and bond energy are inversely proportional. Bond length and bond energy are inversely proportional. Right. See, that means actually here bond energy is directly proportional to number of bonds. Directly proportional to number of bonds. Why? See, if you know here, carbon, single bond, double bond, triple bond, as number of bonds increases, it is very difficult to break the bond, right? You have to supply more amount of bond energy, right? That means here single bond is very easy to break the bond. We have two bonds, we have three bonds. Number of bonds increases means bond energy also increases. So bond energy is directly proportional to number of bonds, but inversely proportional to bond length. So this is about bonding in organic compounds. So then we take several examples for alkanes. So alkanes, for example, there is CH4 ethane and C2H6 ethane, etc. Right? And for this one, you can consider here. And here sp2 we take it alkenes, that is C2H4 ethane and C3H6 propane, like that. And also And also here, we take the aldehydes. In aldehydes, see CHO, right? C double bond H. Carbon oxygen, that is one pi bond is present, right? One pi bond is present. Aldehydes undergoes sp2. The carbon atom in aldehydes undergoes sp2 hybridization. Aldehydes, and ketones, carboxylic acids, okay, esters, amides, all carbonyl compounds. All carbonyl compounds, wherever carbon oxygen double bond is there, carbon oxygen double bond is there, but all undergoes the carbon atom undergoes sp2 hybridization. That is, we can say simply all carbonyl compounds. All carbonyl compounds means aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids, acetamides, acid halides, acid hydrides, esters, all which the carbon oxygen double bond is there. So that's why the carbon atom will match the undergoes sp2 hybridization. Next here, sp. So sp hybridization all kinds maybe, for example, CH2 ethyl or acetylene gas, and C3H4 propyne, right? Propyne. Next, cyanides and isocyanates. Cyanides and isocyanates there. So carbon nitrogen to the bond is derived. Then the carbon undergoes what? Sp hybridization. Cyanides and isocyanates. Next, in case of alcohols, in case of amines, then the carbon atom undergoes sp hybridization because their carbon ROH is single bond only, no pi bond. Saturated alcohols and amines. Next one, this is bonding in organic compounds. Next one, how to represent organic compounds? Representation of organic compounds. So organic compounds are represented differently. Representation of organic compounds. Organic compounds are represented by different methods. So one is molecular formula. Another is complete structural formula. Another is condensed structural formula. Another is bond length formula. Bond length formula or bond length notation. Right. Condensed structural formula. Condensed structural formula. Right. So molecular formula. This molecular formula, for example, if you take here C4 H10. It is a butane. How can they represent complete structural formula? 1, 2, 3, 4 on hydrogens. So the complete structural formula, butane molecular formula is C4H10. Molecular formula of butane is C4H10. The structural formula, complete structural formula means each and every atom and they bonding with the other atoms. How many carbons are there? Each and every carbon atom, and to that carbon, all the 4 covalent bonds are bonded with the carbon or hydrogen or any other atom not represented. It's a complete structural formula. Representation of all carbon atoms, and through the bonds with the other atoms, in each and every carbon, that is called complete structural formula. Okay, so here you have represent hydrogen like that. Condensed structural formula. Condensed, you have to condense short form. What is this? CH3. What is this? CH2. Two hydrogens are there. CH2. What is this? CH2. What is this? CH3. So this is representation is like this. That is each carbon to each how many atoms, hydrogens or any atoms are bonded. You have to represent this called condensed structural formula, not represented in the form of all bonds. Okay, that is. No need to represent all covalent bonds. This is called condensed structural formula of butane only. Then bond length formula. This bond length formula, this is like this. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is bond length formula of butane. They all are same bond length. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a bond length formula. You can't show. You can't need to represent carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms. Only hetero atoms are represent. Hetero atoms means other than carbon and hydrogen. It may be function groups not represented. If it is for example, so OH is there. OH is the function group. There is not a hydrogen. It is the function group we are representing. Function groups are represented. heteroatoms are represented. This is called bond-end formula. So in bond-end formula, no need to represent, no need to show carbon atoms, hydrogen atoms. Other than carbon and hydrogen atoms, heteroatoms like oxygen, sulfur, halogens, phosphorus, these are all have represented, and all functions also have represented. So, and bonds, how many bonds are very hard represented? That is called bond-end representation. Okay. So, for example, regarding bond-end representation, I will give some more examples because we may get the questions regarding bond-end representation. Maybe. That is how to represent bond-end formula. So, they will do structural formula, condensive formula. Then they will ask which of the following is the correct bond-end formula for the given structure, condensive formula. They will get that. So, this is, for example, so this is what? This is what? This is a ethane. Just ethane. Two carbons are there. You want to represent hydrogens. Then you ask, so how many hydrogens? How can you know? How can you know means the carbon, each carbon atom, how many number of covalent bonds? There is 4 covalent bonds are there. To satisfy that 4 covalent bonds, how many hydrogens required? That many hydrogens are present. So this carbon, this is bond, this side is bond. One bond is there. Remaining how many bonds are required? 3. That is 3 hydrogens are present like that. Required number of hydrogens. Required number of hydrogens means how many number of covalent bonds that are required to satisfy tetravalence. That number of hydrogens are present. That you have to understand. This is the way it's called bond representation. No need to show carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms. There is a bond formula. So this indicates what? This is ethane. This is ethane. This is nothing but what? This is ethane. There is a C2H6. If you represent like this is ethene, C2H4, ethene. So represent like this is ethine, C2H2. Why so far? Your carbon is there, your carbon is there. Only 3 bonds, this carbon is there, 3 bonds, and 1 more hydrogen, like that. Got my point. Next, it is like this. For example, you can represent like this. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a butane. Now it is what? Butane. This 1, 2, 3, 4. Double one is present where? Second carbon, which 2 What is there like this? Which 2 like that. Okay, this. So this is a previous one. Maybe this is the butane. This is the butane 2. This is a butane 2, like that. Or the compound is given like this. For example, the compound is given like this. So here, so sometimes they will ask, what is the functional present in the given formula? They will ask. What is the functional is present? Carbon to this H, to this O is bonded. This is aldehyde, CHO functional is present. CHO, right? So, for example, here they will do like this. For example, they will do like this. There is so here. So, what the functional present here? So, what the functional is here? To this, it is what carbon is there. This is what carbon branch is present, right? This is alkyl group, right? So, this is sulfur, COOR. R. The second thing is hydrocarbon R, COOR. RCOR is ester functional is present. Ester COOR, ester functional is present. They're given like this. They're given like this. For example, they're given like this. This is they're given like this. This is what is the functional present? Carboxylic acid functional is present. COOH. Okay, they're given like this. For example, that is here. So now here, cyanide function is present. That is nitric. Okay, nitric. So cyanide is nitrous. Here, how many carbon atoms are? How many alkyl groups carbons are present? Alkyl groups here 1, 2, 3, 4. This carbon also not counted by keep the IUPAC there because it's a table function, right? Next one. So for example, I will do like this. Like this. Whatever maybe they will do, don't worry. So here we have to count the first one, select this is a carbon, group 1 is there, the remaining all carbons are present. If they represent like this, for example, somewhere they represent like this, okay, so here it is like this here, somewhere for example here there is they represent like this. Here what the functional that is present? Ketone functional is present, CO is present. CO functional is present and double bond is present. Depending on this are all, this is a branch, 2 carbon branch. They will do like this. Then 3 carbon branch, propyl. They will do like this. This is ethyl. There will be only one. This is a methyl that is bonded with this carbon. This is a okay. Here is the propyl that is bonded with this carbon. This ethyl that is bonded with this carbon. Like that. That is the function. That is the representation. That is called bond-length representation. Right. Next. Next, classification of organic compounds. All organic compounds, for our convenience, are classified into different types. Different types. Classification of organic compounds. Classification of organic compounds. Right? So all organic compounds, for our convenience, they are classified into different categories. One is open chain organic compounds or acyclic organic compounds or aliphatic organic compounds. Another one is closed chain organic compounds or ring chain organic compounds or cyclic organic compounds. Acyclic, cyclic, and the open chain, closed chain, aliphatic, ring chain organic compounds. Open chain organic compounds again are of two types now. One is saturated organic compounds, saturated hydrocarbons. Another one is unsaturated. The saturated alkene family will included. The unsaturated alkenes and alkynes are included. And closed chain organic compounds again are of two types. One is homocyclic organic compounds. Another one is heterocyclic organic compounds. Homocyclic organic compounds again are of two categories. One is polycyclic organic compounds. Another one is aromatic organic compounds. And polycyclic organic compounds are of three categories. That is cycloalkenes, cycloalkynes. Okay. And aromatic compounds again are of two categories. One is benzenoid compounds. Another one is non-benzenoid aromatic compounds. Like heterocyclic compounds are of two categories. Heterocyclic compounds. One is heterocyclic aromatic, and another one is heterocyclic non-aromatic. Right. So here, what is homocyclic? It's also called carbocyclic. So what is open chain means? The organic chain which contain the first and last carbon atoms are not joined with each other, not connected with each other. It's called the chain is open. What is closed chain is the organic compound which the first and last carbons are connected with each other, joined with each other. That forms a closed cyclical ring. And closed cyclical ring compounds are two types. Homocyclic means the entire cyclical ring is made up of only carbon atoms. It is called homocyclic. The cyclical ring is made up of heteroatoms in addition to carbon atoms. In addition to carbon atoms, some heteroatoms are present in the ring. The cyclical ring carrying heteroatoms along with carbon atoms. Heteroatoms may be oxygen or sulfur or phosphorus or halogen or nitrogen like that. Then polycyclic means these are the derivatives of aliphatic compounds, open chain compounds, but having cyclical ring structure. So they are derived from aliphatic compounds. There is their preparation methods and properties are like that of aliphatic, but structurally like the cyclical ring structure. They are called polycyclic compounds. You know, cyclopropane, cyclohexane, cyclobutane, cyclopentane. These are examples. And aromatic. So aromatic means those compounds which have a cyclical ring or carbon atoms undergoes sp2 hybridization, having planar geometry, and alternate double bond single bond kind, there is conjugation, and followed by Huckel's rule, that is 4 plus 2 pi electrons rule. That compound will call as aromatic compound, that is which follows 4n plus 2 pi electrons rule, that is called Huckel's rule. Then that compound is called aromatic compound, right? Again, there are two types, benzenoid and non-benzenoid. So those which have benzene-like structure are called benzenoid. Benzene-like structure means benzene having how many carbons? 6 carbons. There is so benzene, phenol, or aniline. Okay, the benzoaldehyde, benzoic acid. Okay, these are all benzene-related structures. That are benzenoid compounds. Non-benzenoid means which do not have 6 carbons. More than 6 or less than 6. That are called non-benzene. They do not have benzene-like structure. So for example, take it here, there is a tropone, tropolone, tropolone. This is the structure of flow pole. That represents like this. That represents like this. So this is what flow pole. Double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond. This is tropone. Pole means what? Each one is there. How many carbons are there? 7. See. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbons are there. This is not a of benzene. This is a propone. And this is if here OH is there, that is tropolone. Pole means what? Alcohol. Tropolone. Okay, tropolone. So this is tropone. Pole means ketone, right? Tropone. And the tropolone means this is. This is what? Non-benzene. They have 7 carbons, more than 6. And you know, cyclopentadienyl cation. So 5 carbons are there. Cyclopentadienyl cation. So double bond atomic positions are also there. We say aromatic, but not benzene-like structure. That is cyclopentadienyl. That is. Next one, heterocyclic means the cyclical ring carrying heteroatoms. Heterocyclic. Here, the entire cycle is made of polycarbon atoms. There is no any heteroatom. This is called homocyclic. Homocyclic means the entire cyclical ring is made of what? Ring is made of carbon, polycarbon atoms. It is called homocyclic or carbocyclic. The ring is made of heteroatoms along with carbon atoms. That are called heterocyclic. So they are aromatic and non-aromatic. So aromatic means they have the ring carrying heteroatoms and they are aromatic. That means they have order and double bond single bond is also there. These are like examples. You know, there is phenol, there is pyridine, furan, thiopene. These are all examples for aromatic. You know, this is pyridine. Double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond. This is pyridine. What is phenol? This is phenol. This is phenol. This is phenol. What is furan? What is furan? This is furan. Furan. What is thiopene? Sulfur containing one is called thiopene. Oxide containing one is called furan. Nitrogen containing one is called phenol, and this pyridine means what the difference between these two is here nitrogen. But it is a 5 carbon ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon ring. 6 carbon is called pyridine. This 5 carbon is phenol, nitrogen, phenol, oxide, furan, and sulfur, thiopene. Thiopene is sulfur containing matter. So this is a non-aromatic means there is tetrahydrofuran. This is a furan, but this is tetrahydrofuran. It is aromatic because organic double bond single bond cation is there. It is not aromatic because there is no double bond, there is no conjugation. Double bond single bond cation is not there, and that too all sp3 carbons. So that's why it is a non-aromatic. This is a heterocyclic but non-aromatic. This is called tetrahydrofuran. THR. This is linked as a solvent, organic solvent, tetrahydrofuran. Right. Next, now, this is a good classification of organic compounds. Then, the first track, that is the physical chemistry. Once more topics are told about the explain today. This is significant figures now. Could explain that one also. Significant figures. This is related to first track. Significant figures. Yes, yeah. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So what is significant figures means? The meaningful digits which have some accuracy, some certainty, that are called significant figures. So in the significant figures, if zeros are present in the figure, in the meaningful digits, you have to count it or you have to know how to count it. So for that, some rules are there. Rules for significant figures is, first one is all non-zero digits. All non-zero digits are significant. That is, for example, 285 is there. How many significants? 3. There are no zeros here. All non-zero digits are significant. So 3 significant, like that. Next one. If the zeros are present, preceding the non-zero digit. The zeros are present. Preceding the non-zero digit. That means before, we can say before the non-zero digit. Before the non-zero then that is not significant. That is not significant. For example, 0.0025 is there. This is not significant. This is not significant. Only this was significant. So how many significants? 2 are there. See, the zeros are present before means preceding the non-zero digit. So this is non-zero digit, right? Non-zero digit, right? So these are present before the non-zero digit, right? That are not significant. That are not significant. That are not significant. That are not significant. If that is, you don't complete, you don't signify that part. Okay. The zeros which are present before the non-zero digits are not significant. Okay. Like that, whatever maybe they give it. For example, like this 0.05. How many significants they ask? 2, 3. No, only one. This one is significant. This one is significant. Okay, that is. Next one. If the zeros are present, in between the non-zero digits. In between the non-zero digits. That are significant. That are significant. How, for example, so 2.2 is there. 0 is present between that. It is a non-zero digit. It is a non-zero digit. It is there between that two. So the significant is also 2 is also. There is 3 non-significants are there. Like that. Okay. Or if it is so 5 like this is there. How many significants are there? 4. So these zeros are not. It is significant. Yeah, it is present between 2 or significants. All are significant like that. Next, the zeros are present. So just the first important and I have to simple manner how to remember that one also. It is very easy to find out. Don't commit a mistake. It is very simple. And the next one is the zeros are present before the decimal points. That is, you can say on the right side of decimal points. On the right side of decimal points. So this is on the left side, right? Left side. This left side is right side, right? Okay. Left side of decimal point is before the decimal points, before the non-zero digits. But now I'm saying on the right side of the decimal point, that are significant. For example, the compound is like this one. That is like this. So you know how many significants are there? 3 are there. This is right side. This is a decimal point. Right side is there. This are also significant. It's very important. Okay. Or if it is like this, what is the value of this? 200, right? 200 means the 0 is present after that, right? It's on the right side of the, or it is succeeding the non-zero digits. It's the preceding the non-zero digit. It's the succeeding, that is on the right side of the non-zero digit. Got my point? Then how many significants are there? 3 are there. Right. Or it is like this, the compound will be like this. That is 5.00. 2 like that. So it is present on the right side. You may ask, okay. So this is significant. This is significant. Like this also, or maybe it is like this also. All are significant. This is very important. On the right side. Next one. If the value you can express in scientific notation, the value is expressed in scientific notation. And here, one more ambiguity is there. For example, this is 100 here. This 100 you can express like this. There is a 10 square, right? 1.0 10 square, both same only, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? You can express like this, right? So here, how many significants are there? This here, how many significants are there? This is 2 significants are there. This is on the right side, right? This is present on the right side of the decimal point, right? That is significant. Or you can represent like this. Then how many significants? Only one. Only one. This is only. Or both are same only, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Or you can represent like this. But the value, both are same only, right? But significance is how many? There is 3. 1, 2, 3. That is very important. Take care. On the right side of the decimal point. Next, if the value is expressed in scientific notation, if the particular value is expressed in scientific notation, that value is that the digits are significant, not exponents. Digits are significant. Not exponents. Not exponents. Okay. For example, so that is you can express that is 5.04 into 10 power 20. So 20 significance, it is exponent. You don't worry about that. These are significant. And how many significants are there? 3. Right. If the value is a countable value for objects, it is a countable objects. It is a countable objects. If it is a countable objects, the countable objects having infinite number of significant figures. Infinite number of significant figures. Countable object. For example, a dozen of banana. Dozen of banana means 12. How many significant figures are there? Infinite significant figures. And maybe 20 balls are there. How many significant figures are there? Infinite number of significant figures. Because it is related to object. It is related to object. That is there. Infinite number of significant figures are there. But one point, okay, it is very simple, right? Okay. So first keep in our mind, all non-zero digits are significant. The zeros which are present before the non-zero digits are not significant. The zeros are present in between the non-zero digits are significant. The zeros are present after right side of the decimal point significant. And all scientific notation figures are significant exponents. And the countable objects having infinite numbers of objects. That's it. That's it. Right. Okay. Fine. So the process is to prepare this is over for the Sunday examination by 40.